The Bengals turn in an absolute nightmare performance in Cleveland. Mike Petraglia inside First Energy Stadium. The Bengals get their doors blown off here on Monday Night Football by a score of 32-13 by Jacoby Brissett, Nick Chubb, and the Cleveland Browns. The Browns came in with 4 straight losses. The Bengals winners of 4 of 5. They certainly look like they changed Halloween costumes and uniforms before the game began. The Bengals actually lost the opening coin flip, and the Browns deferred. So the Bengals got the ball to start the game, and they drove right down the field. A couple of nice first down catches on third down conversions by Chris Evans and then Tyler Boyd. Bengals get down inside the 25-yard line. Then the problems began. It was Joe Burrow looking for Tyler Boyd on an out pattern on an RPO. Myles Garrett got his hand up in the air, tipped the ball, and it was intercepted by A.J. Green, ironically enough, on this Halloween night. And the Bengals really had no offensive momentum from that point going forward. The defense tried to keep the Bengals in the game. They had an interception, Von Bell picking off an option pass from Amari Cooper. That was one turnover. And then the Bengals also recovered a fumble in midair by Jacoby Brissett. And the Bengals had the ball at midfield. They could do nothing with either opportunity. Evan McPherson had a really, really difficult night. He missed a 43-yard field goal wide right in the first half, and after the Bengals scored their first touchdown of the game late in the third quarter, he missed the extra point. So he missed 2 of his 3 meaningful kicks on the evening. Really a bad night all around. The biggest downer of the game, though, without question, was the loss of star cornerback Chidobe Awuzie. He went out of the game with a right knee injury, colliding with Amari Cooper late in the first half. He came off the field. He went down to the ground. He got looked at by the training staff, went into the tent, and then was carted to the Bengals locker room. He didn't return to the field until he was on crutches in the second half. After the game, Zach Taylor said, "It doesn't look good." You feel heartbroken for a guy like Chidobe Awuzie, who is a leader on the Bengals. He does everything, according to Zach Taylor, the right way. Everybody loves him in that locker room. It doesn't look good. So we'll wait until Wednesday when we get an update from Zach Taylor as to if whether or not Chidobe Awuzie is headed to the injured reserve. We may even know more if the Bengals make a move before the 4 p.m. trading deadline on Tuesday. Bengals also lost cornerback Trey Flowers. He went out with a hamstring in the second half. He did not return. So the Bengals, on a night where Cam Taylor-Britt made his first NFL start, they lose 2 cornerbacks, Chidobe Awuzie, and they also lose Trey Flowers. Also injured on defense was Sam Hubbard. He had his left index finger mangled in the second half. He came out for x-rays after the game. He said he'll be okay. He'll continue to play. It was taped up, but it got mangled pretty good. Perhaps ligaments torn in that finger, but he doesn't know for sure yet. More exams due for Sam Hubbard when they get back into the Cincinnati, but that certainly isn't the biggest concern of the night. The bigger concern is the status of one Chidobe Awuzie and whether or not he'll be able to play the rest of the 2022 season. As for the game itself, Nick Chubb with another 100-yard performance, 23 carries, 101 yards. What else is new against the Stripes? He had 2 rushing touchdowns, including the first touchdown of the game that put the Browns on top 6-0. Bengals had 12 men on the field for the extra point, and instead of taking it on the kickoff, the Browns decided to go for 2, and who else? Nick Chubb ran it in for 2 points. It was that kind of night for the Cincinnati Bengals. Just an awful performance all around. Special teams, defense in the second half, they allowed a 13-play, 75-yard drive right off the jump in the second half as the Browns had the ball to open the third quarter. They couldn't stop anything when it came to the Browns offense in the second half as the Browns put together 2 long scoring drives to put this game on ice. Bengals were down 25-0 when they got a 13-yard touchdown pass from Joe Burrow to Tyler Boyd. Later in the game, Joe Burrow to T. Higgins for 41 yards. But both T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd said, yes, we miss Jamar Chase out there on the field, but we have to make better plays. We have to execute better, and the execution was not there. Sam Hubbard, after the game, told me there will be no finger pointing. Yes, we know we were awful tonight. Yes, we know there's a lot of areas to improve, but he has no doubt in his mind that the Bengals have the right mental approach to be able to go back and put this horrific effort behind them, an effort that drops them to 4-4 overall, a game behind the Ravens in the AFC North. But of course, they've already lost to the Ravens, so that puts them actually 2 games back in the AFC North. They're 0-3 in the division. Just really a hard pill to swallow in so many areas for the Bengals. They did not look prepared for this game really from jump. Maybe if the Bengals go in and score a touchdown on an opening drive, we're singing a different tune. But instead, we are talking about a true Halloween nightmare for the Bengals on this Halloween 2022. They drop a 32-13 decision to the Cleveland Browns here at First Energy Stadium. We'll have you covered with post-game reaction on clnsmedia.com. Of course, check out my Twitter page at Trags, Trags, and be sure to click on the link below and subscribe to my Jungle Roar podcast YouTube page. Want to hear all of your comments about the game, good, mostly bad, and some indifferent, I'm sure. Inside First Energy Stadium after a 32-13 loss to the Browns, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.